Now I want to tell you how to make a beautiful sound on your trumpet. The first thing you need to do in order to make a beautiful sound on your instrument is have really good posture. This is very, very important because we play wind instruments and we need to be able to use our whole torso to move our air in a good way. So good posture basically means you're standing up nice and straight, or you're sitting nice and straight with your head right on top of your spine and not sort of slouching or tilting or raising your shoulders or bending over like this. You want to stand nice and straight, keep your shoulders relaxed, and bring the horn up in a very natural way. The same is true if you're sitting. If you're sitting down, a lot of kids have a tendency to kind of slouch or hunch over or kind of like, lean back like this, and that won't give you a beautiful sound on the instrument. You want to sit on the edge of your chair, nice and straight, same as if you were standing, just right on top of your hips, so that you can really breathe into your whole torso. Now you hear me keep talking about the importance of breathing. Well, that's because the trumpet is fundamentally a wind instrument, and that means we have to use our air to make a beautiful sound. So breathing is really important. When you take a breath, I want you to imagine breathing into your belly so that you expand from the bottom up rather than the top down. If you breathe into your belly, you take a nice full breath, it looks something like this. It's very natural, it's very expansive, and it allows you to move your air in a very free and full way. If you breathe up into your shoulders or up into the top of your lungs, it's a very tense breath like this. And you can see I get tight in my shoulders, I get tight in my neck, and I even get a little tight in my face. But if you breathe into your belly, you can move a ton of air without a lot of effort, like this. And if you do that into your instrument, you're going to get a beautiful sound. The other thing you need to know about making a beautiful sound on your instrument is you have to make a good embouchure. Well, what is an embouchure anyway? An embouchure is basically the setting that your mouth makes so that it can focus the airstream into a buzz at the center of your lips. The way you make a good embouchure is you start by thinking of the syllable M, like and then you imagine blowing the air into a focus stream right through the center of your lips, making a buzz like this. And then you learn how to move that buzz up and down in pitch, kind of like this. And then you do that into this, the mouthpiece. When you make that and you buzz through it into the mouthpiece, it sounds something like this. And then you put the mouthpiece into the trumpet, and you do that thing through the whole trumpet, and you get a nice, big, beautiful sound like this. Another thing that you need to know in order to play beautiful music on the trumpet is where to put your hands. Now, as you can see, I'm holding the trumpet with a nice, firm grip in my left hand. But firm doesn't mean tight, it just means solid. If you can see here, my hand is actually very open. It's very relaxed, and I can move the trumpet around without gripping down like this, because that's going to make you tense, and we don't want tension in our playing. So a nice open grip like this on the left hand of the trumpet is really good. Then you take your thumb, you stick it right there in between the first valve and the second valve, and then you put your first finger, well, your index finger, on the first valve. You put your middle finger on the second valve. You put your third finger on or your fourth finger here on the third valve. So your middle 3 fingers go over your valves like 1, 2, 3. And then your pinky, you can either rest on top of this little ring here, or you can put it in the ring. It's better to play with it on top of the ring because then you don't grip like this and jam it into your face, and that just hurts. You don't want to do that. But if you do all of these things together, you take a nice deep breath, you make a nice embouchure with your mouth, you buzz through your lips into the mouthpiece, into the trumpet, with your holding in your left hand, placing your valves over, or your fingers over the valves with your right hand. You can play beautiful music like this. And that's how you make a beautiful sound on the trumpet.